Danny, listen.
Sam, wait a second.
You have to
they
follow
have
through.
a defense. They were following an order.
An illegal order.
You think these guys know what an illegal order is? I don't even know what an
Just
illegal
hang on,
order is.
Danny.
They
It's
are
all-
not allowed to question orders. Period.
Then what's the secret? What are the magic words? I give orders every day and nobody follows them.
Sam, we have softball games and marching bands. They stand on a wall. It's something they're taught to do. It's routine down there.
The law says you can't do what they did. It's as simple as that.
It's not that simple. We are defense counsel. We position the truth. What did they teach you?
To tell the truth, not position.
Then they taught you wrong. Talk to your friend at NIS, see what the deal is on Markinson.
I already did.
And?
She said if Markinson doesn't want to be found, we're not going to find him. She said I could be Markinson and you wouldn't know it.
Are you Markinson? I'm not Markinson. That's 2 down.
Find it. Look, we'll meet at my place every night at 7 o'clock. I want you on Downey 2 hours a day. Get him to stop squinting when he talks. He looks shifty. I want you on Dawson. Razor sharp professional order taker, Stepford Marine. They were following an order, straight and simple.
What expert witness are we going to bring in who's going to say they had to follow this order?
Kendrick.
Jessup.
I'm not
Jessup.
putting Jessup on the stand. I can get what I need from Kendrick. Dawson and Downey will testify to the order. Kendrick will testify. My place, 7 o'clock. All I have in the house is Yoo-Hoo and sugar smacks, so bring whatever it is you like to eat and drink. You're going to be there a while. Oh, and don't wear that perfume. It wrecks my concentration.
Really?
I was talking to Sam.
Walter, any news?
Oh, not yet, sir. We've still got a few more tests to run. They're going to take a while. But even at that, I'm not certain we're going to be able to make a determination.
I see.
Colonel, it would help us know what happened.
It was a code red, sir. The man was shaving his head.
Lieutenant, the boy did not die of a haircut.
He died because that's what the Lord saw fit, Commander.
Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, Jonathan, give the Lord a rest, would you please?
Yes, sir.
Just rest yourself, you look like hell.
Yes, sir.
Johnny, you're a Marine.
Thank you, sir.
Walter, I don't want to pin you down to anything. I know you've got some more tests to run, but what are the possibilities to this point?
It could be any number of things, Nathan. They used a gag. It could have gotten stuck in his throat. There could have been something poisonous on the gag. You could have gotten the hell scared out of it and had a heart attack. Like I said, we may never be certain. Sometimes it's just a judgment call.
A heart attack?
He's got a medical history that suggests the possibility of a slight coronary disorder.
Why wasn't this detected before?
Well, it's difficult to impossible to detect.
Walter, is
someone-
that what you're going to tell the Board of Inquiry?
How do you mean?
I mean, every 3 months you give these boys a thorough examination. And every 3 months you send Santiago back on the wall with a clean bill of health. Am I wrong?
Nathan, this
Hey,
is-
Walter, you tell me. What can happen to a doctor's career because of something like this? You know what I think? I don't think it was a code red. I think Dawson and Downey got it into their heads to kill Santiago. I think, like you said, I think they put poison on the rag.
Well, that's one possibility.
You know why I think that? Walter, I've known you for how many years now?
4 years.
Close on to 5. And one of the first things I did when I got this post was to request your assignment to the base hospital. And one of the first things I'll do when I leave is to tell the folks upstairs, hey, I want Walter with the big stones coming with me. I put my trust in you, Walter. I put the lives of my Marines in your hands. That's why I think it had to be poison. But hey, you're the doctor. You're the damn good doctor. Whatever you say, I'll live with it. There's going to be an investigation into the cause of death. I'll do what I can for you.
Yes, sir.
Tom, find me Captain Markinson.
Yes, can I help you?
Oh, gosh, I hope so. I've been getting the runaround all morning. Gilbert Hamilton, Baltimore Sun.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'm doing a two-part feature on the traffic over at Andrews Air Force Base. Do you keep on file any record of the incoming flights at Andrews?
Sure, all the bases. We keep copies of all the daily tower chief's logs.
Is that right?
Yeah, they list passenger manifests, incoming flights, time of arrival.
Well, I'll tell you, I need a copy of the logbook for Andrews for the evening of July 7th and the morning of July 8th.
We got it. The only thing is, I need a fleet requisition form and a 710 signed by 2 officers over the rank of lieutenant. I'm sorry, but I can't show you copies of the log without a fleet requisition form and a 710 signed by 2 officers over the rank of lieutenant.
I understand. Is the duty officer around?
No, he's at a department meeting.
Well, is there anyone else that can help me?
Not for about another half hour. Everyone's at lunch. I'm the only one here.
Then let's go and get a logbook.
Sir, Lance Corporal Harold W. Dawson, sir!
You don't have to identify yourself here other than who you are. Look, I wanted to come by and give you some encouragement or something. Sit up straight. Not very inspiring, I know.
It's all right. I'm not the one who needs confidence anymore. I mean, you have to accept the consequences too, right?
Yeah, but they're not my consequences to accept.
Well, that makes it just a little bit worse then, doesn't it, sir?
Sit up straight.
Stand hut! All those having business with this General Court-Martial, stand for it and you shall be heard. Captain Julius Alexander Randolph is presiding. God save the United States of America.
Without objection, the sworn statements of the defendants has been read to the members and entered into the court records.
No objection.
No objection?
Without objection, the sworn statements of 9 members of Rival Security Company Wynwood has been read to the members and entered into the court records.
No objection.
No objection?
Is the government prepared to present its case?
We are, sir.
Please, the court, before we begin, can I ask if all these MPs are really necessary?
Do they make you nervous, Commander?
No, sir. They're projecting the image that the defendants are dangerous and or a flight risk.
The defendants are on trial for murder.
The defendants who are in handcuffs have not been found guilty of a crime. And I am certain that if they were to break free and make their escape, the armed guards at the door would apprehend them.
Your Honor, the Provost Marshal felt it advisable to make the defendants a security priority.
The Provost Marshal is going to feel like an idiot if somebody steals one of our ships during this trial.
Take your seat, Commander. Government will call its witness.
Government calls Commander Stone. Call Commander Stone. Commander, have you been previously sworn?
Yes, I have.
Would you state your full name, rank, and current billet for the record, please, sir?
Commander Walter Stone. My current billet is Internal Medicine Specialist, Guantanamo Bay Naval Hospital.
Thank you, Commander. You can have a seat. And you've been attached to the hospital at Gitmo for...
From October 1 to the present.
And on 8 July of this year, did you have occasion to treat PFC William Santiago?
I did.
Could you describe that treatment for us, please?
Private Santiago was brought into the emergency room on the morning of the 8th at 0030. He was coughing up blood and suffering from lack of oxygen. He lost consciousness at 0035.
Doctor, what were your observations upon examination?
The most obvious things were the rope marks around his wrists and that his head was partially shaved. X-rays and lab work revealed his lungs were filled with fluid bilaterally. He had profound acidosis, that is to say, a buildup of acid in his lungs.
What causes acid to build up in a person's lungs?
Acidosis occurs when the muscles and other cells of the body burn sugar in the absence of oxygen. Santiago's cells stopped burning oxygen and began burning sugar, causing the lungs to bleed. He drowned in his own blood and was pronounced dead at 0110.
And what was it, Doctor, that caused Santiago's lungs to begin burning sugar?
And ingested poison of some kind.
Now, I'm just wondering why it would necessarily have to be a poison. What if, for instance, a rag was placed in my throat, just as a joke, and the rag was accidentally pushed too far down, cutting off oxygen altogether? Wouldn't that trigger the acidosis?
Well, if that were the case, you'd die of a lack of oxygen before your lungs started to bleed. Lactic acidosis is a chemical process that requires 20 to 30 minutes before it becomes lethal.
Doctor, did Willie Santiago die of poison?
Absolutely.
Are you aware that the lab report showed no traces of poison on the rag?
Yes, I am.
Are you aware that the coroner's report showed no traces of poison in the body?
Yes, I am.
And how do you justify your opinions, Doctor?
There are literally dozens of toxins which are virtually undetectable, both in a human body and on, well, a fabric. The nature of the acidosis is a compelling factor in this issue.
Thank you, sir.
Doctor, other than the rope marks, was there any external damage?
Don't call him doctor.
Commander.
Right.
Commander, other than the rope marks, was there any external damage?
No.
No scrapes or cuts?
No.
No. Damn it, why can't I get this?
Concentrate.
I am concentrating.
Not hard enough.
I concentrated hard enough to graduate fourth in my class. Where's your merit badge for concentration?
Scrapes, cuts, bruises, welts, broken bones, fat lip. Saved by Bill.
Did we order food?
I can't remember.
I thought we ordered Chinese food.
No, we ordered Chinese food yesterday.
We've ordered Chinese food every day.
That might be a package for me.
I'll go. I've got to stretch my legs.
Having your mail delivered here now?
I called division and asked to see the tower chief's log from Guantanamo.
What do you want with the tower chief's log?
They said the 200 was the first flight off the base that night. I wanted to see if they were keeping Santiago on the base on purpose.
Wonderful. I'm chasing Kendrick and you're chasing shadows.
I'm chasing Jessup.
Leave Jessup out of this.
One of these days you're going to tell me what went on in his office.
Well, it's not Chinese food.
Is it for me?
I don't know. It just says AF-40 MAM. M-A-M. Does that mean anything to anybody?
Man.
Lieutenant Commander Joanne Galloway, USNR, JAGC, MOUSC.
So, how's the baby?
I don't know. Haven't seen her awake in 2 weeks.
Damn it.
What?
They sent me the wrong log.
Wrong week?
The wrong base. I swear those morons sent me the tower chief's log from Andrews Air Force Base. I asked for Naval Air Station, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, so naturally they sent me Andrews Air Force Base.
Call them in the morning. They'll send you the right one.
I know, it just galls me.
It what?
It galls me.
You know, I don't think I've ever actually heard anyone of my generation say that before.
Back to work.
Scrapes, cuts, bruises, welts, broken bones, fat lip.
Go, Harvard.
Commander, you testified that it takes lactic acidosis 20 to 30 minutes before it becomes lethal. That is to say, 20 to 30 minutes before a person's lungs would fill with fluid bilaterally. Is that correct?
That's correct.
20 to 30 minutes. That's about average.
Right.
And some people it might be more, some people less.
A little bit more, a little bit less.
Let me ask you this then. Is it possible for a person to have an affliction of condition, say, which in the case of that person might speed up the process of acidosis dramatically?
Yes.
What might some of those conditions be?
If a person had a coronary disorder or a cerebral disorder, it's possible that the lungs might begin to bleed before the person suffocated. Now, mind you, it would have to be a serious condition.
Well, let me ask you this then, Commander. Is it possible for a person to have a serious coronary condition in which the initial warning signs were so mild as to escape a physician during a routine medical exam?
Possibly. There would still be symptoms, though.
And what might some of those symptoms be?
There are many symptoms of a coronary disorder.
Would, say, chest pains, shortness of breath, and fatigue be among them?
Yes.
Commander, is this your signature?
Yes, it is.
That's in order for Private Santiago to be placed on restricted duty for a period of 4 weeks. Would you read your handwritten remarks at the bottom of the page, please?
Initial testing negative. Patient complains of chest pains, shortness of breath, fatigue. Restricted from running distances of over 5 miles.
That's why it had to be poison, isn't it? Because Lord knows if you put a man with a serious coronary condition back on duty with a clean bill of health and that man died due to a heart-related incident, you'd have a lot to answer for, wouldn't you, Doctor?
Objection!
Withdrawn, no further questions.
Dr. Stone, you've held a license to practice medicine for 12 years. Been published in various medical journals. You are board certified in internal medicine. You are chief of internal medicine at a hospital which serves over 8,000 men. In your opinion, doctor, was Willie Santiago poisoned?
Objection calls for speculation.
Commander Stone is an expert medical witness. In this courtroom, his opinion isn't considered speculation.
Has the witness been admitted as an expert?
The government makes a motion at this time to admit Commander Stone as an expert and to allow his opinion as testimony.
Defense objects.
Overruled. The court would like to hear the doctor's opinion.
Your Honor, I remind the court that Dr. Stone is an internist, not a criminologist, and that his testimony under cross-examination has proved only that the medical facts are inconclusive.
Nevertheless, I'd like to hear the doctor's opinion.
Sir, the defense strenuously objects and requests a sidebar so that His Honor might hear discussion before ruling on the objection.
The defense objection has been heard and overruled.
Exception.
Noted.
Dr. Stone, in your expert professional opinion, was Willie Santiago poisoned?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. I have no more questions.
Commander, you may step down.
Please the court, while the government retains its right to call rebuttal witnesses should the need arise, we rest our case.
Is the defense ready to present its case?
Yes, sir, we are.
Very well. This court will stand in recess until Monday, 10 a.m. at August 19th.
And hut! Dismissed! I strenuously object. Is that how that works? Objection. Overruled. No. I strenuously object. Oh, well, then let me take a moment to reconsider.
Look, I got it on the
You
record.
also got on the jury's head, we're afraid of the doctor. You object once to remind him his testimony hasn't been proven. Any more than that, and it looks like this great case we built was just a lot of fancy lawyer tricks. It's the difference between paper law and trial. Sorry. I'm in a crappy mood.
Is he right?
Yes, I'm right.
Yes, he's right.
Okay.
He's right, but it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna go see Laura. I'll meet you later.
Why do you hate them so much?
They beat up on a weekly. That's all they did. The rest of this smoke-filled coffee house crap. They tortured and tormented a weaker kid. It wasn't just that night. Read the letters. It was 8 months. You know what? I'll bet it was his whole life. They beat him up and they killed him. And why? Because he couldn't run very fast. I'm off duty now. Don't ask me to be pals with these guys.
Sam, do you think the argument we're going to make on Monday is legally
I
sound?
think the argument we're going to make Monday is morally reprehensible.
Sam, I'm not a judge. I'm not a jury, and I'm not a prosecutor. That makes me the one person in this room who is honor-bound to do things which are morally reprehensible. Why don't you take the night off?
Danny, I'm sorry.
No, just take the night off. Go see Laura, see your daughter, Joe, do whatever it is you do when you're not here. We'll start on Howard tomorrow.
Shouldn't we start on mine?
Just go.
See you tomorrow.
He'll be all right. He's just tired.
How much damage did I cause with the doctor?
Doesn't matter.
Are you saying it doesn't matter because I didn't cause that much damage or because it's all water into the bridge?
It doesn't matter because we'll never know and there's nothing we can do about it anyway.
Good. That's a good attitude.
Thank you. I got it on sale. Listen, do you have any place to go?
Yeah, I was just gonna stick around here for a little while.
Here in the courtroom.
Yeah.
The only person around here is going to be Dickie, the night janitor. He's asleep most of the time. Quite frankly, he's not that much fun when he's awake.
I know, I just...
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
You just what?
I enjoy empty courtrooms.
You enjoy empty courtrooms.
Yes.
You know, you are like 7 of the strangest women I've ever met.
I know. I'm the girl guys like you hated in the 6th grade.
No, Joe, you're the girl guys like me tortured in the 6th grade. I'll see you tomorrow. Why do you like them so much?
Because they stand on a wall. And they say nothing's gonna hurt you tonight. Not on my watch. Isn't that amazing?
Don't worry about the doctor. This trial starts on Monday.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Santiago, I was Williams' company commander. I knew your son vaguely, which is to say I knew his name. In a matter of time, the trial of the 2 men charged with your son's death will be concluded, and 7 men and 2 women whom you've never met will try and offer an explanation as to why William is dead. Most likely, they will offer many explanations. For my part, I've done what I can to bring the truth to light. I've done it not in the uniform that I served for 21 years, but in costumes and in shadows. I was a defender. And at this moment, I'm being pursued by the Naval Investigative Service, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Central Intelligence Agency, and the military police. And I can't possibly do this any longer. Because the truth is this. Your son is dead for only one reason. I wasn't strong enough to stop him. Always, Captain Matthew Andrew Markinson, United States Marine Corps.
I want to be a recon ranger. I want to be a recon ranger. I want to live a life of danger. Do it again. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Say proud.
10 hut. Today is Monday, 19th August, 86. This session is called to order at 10:02.
Where have you been?
Stop looking for Markinson.
Is defense ready to call its first witness?
Yes, sir. Defense calls Corporal Jeffrey Howard.
Call Corporal Howard.
Corporal, have you been previously sworn?
Yes, sir.
Would you state your full name, rank, and current billet for the record, please?
Corporal Jeffrey Owen Howard, Marine Barracks, Windward, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Thank you, Corporal. You can have a seat.
Corporal, are you a little nervous?
Yes, sir.
Would you like a glass of water?
No, sir, I'm fine, thank you.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, if you need a glass of water, if you'd like a short break, you just let me know.
Please, the court, the witness has twice said that he doesn't want any water. Can we proceed with the examination?
Defense counsel will question the witness.
Yes, sir. Corporal, you've been called here in order to give this court some idea of the function that the Marines and Rifle Security Company perform.
Well, sir, it's very simple, really. You see, the base is divided into two halves, divided...
Corporal, you're gonna have to wait for me to ask a question first.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
It's okay. Would you describe the general layout of the base for us?
Yes, sir. It's very simple, really. See, the base is divided into two halves, the divider being Guantanamo Bay. Now, each half of the base has its own Rifle Security Company. On the west side is RSC Leeward, and on the east side is Windward.
What is the duty of the Marines and RSC Windward?
To provide ground support in the event of an enemy engagement and provide day-to-day security on the fence line.
How long are you on the fence?
We're on the fence for a week and off for a week.
And when you're on the fence, how long is each watch?
6 hours on, 6 hours off.
So it's 1 week on, 1 week off, 6 hours on, 6 hours off. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Are the Marines armed?
Yes, sir.
With?
Sir.
What are the Marines armed with?
Sir.
What are you armed with, Jeffrey?
Weapons.
A pea shooter? Pocket knife? A slingshot?
No, sir. A pea shooter.
Permission to leave the witness.
With a leash if necessary.
You're armed with an M15 rifle and 60 rounds of ammunition, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jeffrey, what's a code red?
A code red is a disciplinary action brought against a Marine who has fallen out of line.
Would you name some ways a Marine could fall out of line?
Being late to platoon or company meetings, keeping his barracks in disorder, letting his personal appearance become substandard, behaving in a manner unbecoming of a Marine, falling back on a run.
Have you ever received a code red?
Yes, sir.
Would you describe it for us?
I dropped my weapon during a field exercise one day. We were doing 7-man assault drills, and I dropped my weapon. It's just that my palms are sweaty. It was over 100 degrees outside. The weapon just slipped, sir.
What happened?
Well, later that night in the barracks, the guys in my squad threw a blanket over me and took turns hitting me in the arm for about 5 minutes. And then they poured glue on my hands.
Okay.
And it worked, too, because they never dropped my weapon since.
Objection.
We're gonna have to strike that one, Jeffrey, but it was a good effort. What happened after the guys in your squad punched you in the arm and poured glue on your hands?
They took me to the post 44 and bought me a beer.
They gave you a code red and then they bought you a beer.
Yes, sir.
All right, Corporal, were you acquainted with Private Santiago?
Yes, sir.
Did you come in contact with him every day?
Yes, sir.
You shared a barracks hall?
Yes, sir.
Your squads were on the fence together.
Yes, sir.
Was Private Santiago ever late for platoon meetings?
Yes, sir.
Ever let his appearance become substandard?
Yes, sir.
Was his barracks ever in disorder?
Yes, sir.
You ever fall back on the run?
All the time, sir.
Corporal, in your estimation, did Private Santiago ever behave in a manner unbecoming a Marine?
Absolutely, sir, yes.
Did Private Santiago ever before the night of the 7th receive a code red?
No, sir.
I don't understand, Corporal. You got a code red because your palms were sweaty. Why didn't Private Santiago, this burden and embarrassment to his unit, why didn't he get a code red?
Because Corporal Dawson wouldn't allow it, sir.
Corporal Dawson wouldn't allow it?
See how? Corporal Dawson was Santiago's squad leader. He wouldn't let anybody go near him. Now, the guys in the squad, they talked tough about Santiago, but when it came down to it, they wouldn't touch him. They were too afraid of Corporal Dawson, sir.
Objection. The witness is characterizing.
Good point, I'll rephrase. Corporal, did you ever want to give Santiago a code red?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you?
Because Dawson kicked my butt, sir.
Good enough. Lieutenant Ross can ask you some questions now.
Corporal, I hold here the Marine Guide and General Information Handbook for New Recruits. Are you familiar with this book?
Yes, sir.
Have you read it?
Yes, sir.
Good. Would you please turn to the section that deals with code reds?
Sir?
Just flip to the page in that book that discusses code reds.
Code reds aren't in this book, sir.
I see. Well, let's turn then to the Marine Infantry Handbook. Please find us the section on code reds in this book and read it to us, please.
Sir, code red is a Marine term. We only use it down at Gitmore.
Oh, well, we're in luck then. The Marine Corps Guide for Sentry Duty, Nav Base, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. I assume we'll find the term code red and its definition in this book, and then we can move on. Am I correct, Corporal?
No, sir.
No? Corporal Howard, I'm a Marine. Is there no handbook, no manual, no set of regulations or orders that let me know that as a Marine, one of my duties is to perform code reds?
No, sir. No book, sir.
No further questions?
Corporal, would you turn to the page in this book that says what the enlisted men's mess hall is?
Lieutenant Canby, that's not the book.
Corporal, do you mean to tell this court that you've been stationed in Gitmo for 13 months and you've never had a meal?
No, sir, 3 squares a day.
I'm confused, Corporal. How did you know how to find the enlisted men's mess hall if it's not in that book?
I guess I just followed the crowd at chow time, sir.
Good enough. No further questions.
You may step down, Corporal Howard.
Yes, sir.
We'll take a 5-minute recess. Please, don't anybody go too far.
Stand hut! As you were.
What happened to Markins?
Can I talk to you alone for a minute?
Yeah.
That was nice work. The redirect on Howard.
Thank you.
Look, I don't want this to go any further. I don't want Kendrick to have to take the stand.
He's a real day at the beach, isn't he?
I was up half the night with him. I mean, he's bright, articulate, nothing in the closet, and you're going to make a meal out of him.
What are you getting at, Jack?
That's what I wanted to ask you. I mean, you're putting on an entertaining defense, but it's going nowhere. You had the doctor on the ropes and...
Look, I'm through talking about
Listen
this.
to me. You had the doctor on the ropes and you lost him. You know you did. Howard was sweet as hell with his Dawson the Protector number, and now you're going to trash Kendrick to make it look like you're doing your job. When you and I both know, and don't pretend you don't. But it doesn't get you one step closer to where you need to be.
We got 2 minutes to the Reverend John. Is there something I can do for you?
Don't put Kendrick on the stand. I have to protect these guys. I can't allow them to look like clowns up here. Stop now, 3 years apiece.
3 years. 4 weeks ago, we were talking about 6 months.
4 weeks ago, your clients spit on 6 months. 4 weeks ago, your clients weren't a daily feature in the Washington Post, and neither were you. I've only got 2 witnesses, and they're both suspected of murder.
Thanks a lot, Jack.
You got bullied into this room by everybody. By her, by Dawson. Hell, I practically dared you. You got bullied into this room even though not for a second did you believe you'd win. You got bullied into this room by the memory of a lawyer who might have stood a chance.
You're a lousy softball player, Jack.
Stand hut!
The boys are going down and I can't stop it anymore.
Defense calls Lieutenant Jonathan James Kendrick.
Call Lieutenant Kendrick.
Lieutenant, have you been previously sworn?
I have.
Would you state your full name, rank, and current billet for the record, please?
Lieutenant Jonathan James Kendrick, Executive Officer, Rifle Security Company Windward, NAV Base, Guantanamo Bay.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You can have a seat.
Lieutenant Kendrick, was Private Santiago a good Marine?
I'd say he was about average.
Is that right? Lieutenant, I have here 3 fitness reports that you filled out for Private Santiago. On all 3 reports, you indicated a rating of below average.
Yes, Private Santiago was below average. I just didn't see a need to trample upon a man's grave.
Well, we appreciate that, Lieutenant, but you're under oath now. And I think, unpleasant as it might be, we'd all just as soon hear the truth.
I am aware of my oath.
On your left bicep, there's a patch. Would you tell us what it says?
Unit, cool, God, country.
And what does that slogan mean?
It's our order of priorities. It's our code.
Would Private Santiago be as likely to adhere to that code as a Marine who received a rating of exceptional?
No, he would not.
Lieutenant, I have here the last 3 fitness reports, 2 filled out for Private Downey and Corporal Dawson. On all 3 reports, Downey received a rating of exceptional, and on 2 reports, Corporal Dawson did as well. But on this last report, dated June 9th of this year, he was given a rating of below average. It's this last report I'd like to discuss for a moment.
That'd be fine.
Lance Corporal Dawson's ranking after infantry training school was 4.0. Statistics show us that well over half of that class has since been promoted to full corporal, while Dawson has remained a lance corporal. Was his promotion held up because of this last report?
I'm sure it was.
Lieutenant, do you recall why Corporal Dawson was given such a poor grade on
I'm
this
sure
report?
I don't. I have many men in my charge, lieutenants. I write many fitness reports.
Do you recall an incident involving a PFC Curtis Barnes who'd been found stealing liquor from the officers' club?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact. I recall thinking very highly of Private Barnes, and not wanting to see his record tarnished by a formal charge.
You preferred instead to handle it within the units.
Objection!
Your Honor, I remind the court that Lieutenant Kendrick is appearing as an adverse witness, and that the rules of cross and not direct examination apply.
Overruled.
Any real leader will tell you the best way to handle a low-level problem is to let those on a low level handle it.
Lieutenant, is it true that you ordered Corporal Dawson and 2 other men to make sure Private Barnes received no food or drink except water for a period of 10 days?
That is a distortion of the truth. Private Barnes was placed on barracks restriction. He was given water and vitamin supplements. I assure you that in no time was his health in danger.
Please the court. The government objects to this entire line of questioning as argumentative and irrelevant badgering of the witness.
Lieutenant, I remind you, you're questioning a Marine officer with an impeccable service record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I'm overruling your objection. Defense may continue its line of questioning.
Lieutenant, you testified that you prefer to handle matters such as the one with Private Barnes within the unit, rather than going through what this court might consider to be the proper authorities. Is that right?
I beg your pardon?
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Proper authority?
Yes.
I have 2 books at my bedside, Lieutenant. The Marine Code of Conduct and the King James Bible. The only proper authorities that I am aware of are my commanding officer, Colonel Nathan Roy Jessup, and the Lord our God.
Lieutenant, at your request, I can ask the record reflect your lack of recognition of this court as a proper authority.
Move to strike.
Counsel, I'd advise against testing the limits of my patience.
Yes, sir. Lieutenant, the type of discipline you preferred in the matter of Curtis Barnes, is there a name for it?
It's called Code Red, and it works. And it's the business of no one but those members of Rival Security Company.
Well, I guess we've gotten that straightened out anyway.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Would an exceptional Marine know what a Code Red is?
Yes, he sure would.
Let me ask you this. Was Corporal Dawson given a rating of below average because you found he'd been sneaking food to Private Barnes?
Lance Corporal Dawson was found to be below average because he committed a crime.
And what crime did he commit?
He
What crime did Corporal Dawson commit, Lieutenant?
He disobeyed an order.
He disobeyed an order that you gave for Private Barnes to receive a Code Red.
Yes.
And because he did, because he exercised his conscience, because he made a decision, he was punished. Is that right?
No, it is because he disobeyed an order.
Yeah, but it wasn't a real order, was it? I mean, after all, it's peacetime. It's not like he was being asked to secure a hill or advance on a beachhead or radio for Battalion A. Surely a Marine without Dawson's outstanding service record can be trusted to determine on his own which orders are the really important ones and which ones might say be illegal.
No. It wasn't Corporal Dawson's prerogative.
A lesson he learned after the Private Barnes incident, am I right?
I would think so.
You know so, don't you, Lieutenant? Objection! Withdrawn. No further questions.
Lieutenant Kendrick, did you have a meeting with the members of 2nd Platoon on the evening of 7 July?
Yes, I did.
And what did you tell them, Lieutenant?
That Private Santiago was being transferred off the base at 0200. And that he was not to be touched.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kendrick.
Coffee.
Got the tower sheet log from Demo.
And?
Nothing. First flight off was 0200.
Damn.
We're okay. We did a job on Kendrick.
I wanted Jessup.
Leave Jessup out of this. The order came from Kendrick to cover up his knowledge job. Somebody else go after Jessup.
Nobody's gonna go after
Dawson
Jessup.
and Downey, Joe. We work for Dawson and Downey.
Right. All right. Okay. You remember the order of questions?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
He'll use small words.
Yes.
He gets rattled when he doesn't understand something.
We're all set,
When he
okay?
doesn't understand something, he
Joanne.
I'm just saying, go slow.
I'm gonna go slow.
Okay, and get him off as fast as you
Joanne.
can. Right. All right.
I think we might win. If Downey comes through and then Dawson, I think we might win.
We are. We're gonna win. Be sure and make a lot of eye contact. So... Right. Right. You want some coffee?
Yes, please. You can't have any though.
Hey, I'm just style. I'm juice.
You're wired.
Sam, you want some coffee?
I'll take a Yoo-hoo.
You're gonna have a yoo-hoo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want a Yoo-hoo. Is that such a big deal? He asked for a Yoo-hoo, and it's like he's asking for the correct time. I want a Yoo-hoo, and the world is coming to an end. I'm gonna get myself a Yoo-hoo, okay? Can we drop it now? I want a Yoo-hoo. I'm fine. Think we're gonna win.
We were taken into custody by the military police officers, and then we were taken to the brig.
Private Downey, this is my last question for you. Why did you give Private Santiago a code red on the night of July 7th?
The code red was an order, and it was given by our executive officer, Lieutenant Kendrick.
Thank you very much.
Private, the switch log has you at post 39 for the week of 2 July. Is that correct?
Sure it is, sir. They keep that log pretty good.
About how far is it from post 39 to Windward Barracks?
Oh, it's a ways, sir. It's a hike.
About how far by jeep? How many minutes would you say?
About 15, 20 minutes by jeep, sir.
Ever had to walk it?
Yes, sir. It was that week, sir. It was a Thursday.
Go on.
You see, sir. I was DDL, and then the pickup private came, sir. You see, pickup private, that's what we call the fellow who picks us and drops us at our post. Also because he can get us girls in New York City.
Go on.
The pickup private. Anyway, sir, me and the pickup private, we were headed back to the barracks, and we're coming right around post 39, and we had a blowout, blam, just like that. And we had no spare or nothing, so we had to double time back to the barracks.
And if it's 15 or 20 minutes by jeep, well, I'm guessing it must be a good hour by foot. Am I close?
Me and pickup did it in 45 flats, sir.
Not bad. And you say your assault on Willie Santiago was the result of an order that Lieutenant Kendrick gave at a platoon meeting at 16:20 hours.
Sir?
You testified that the order that Lieutenant Kendrick gave for Willie Santiago to receive a code red was given at a platoon meeting which took place at 16:20 hours, the 20 minutes after your squad was relieved on the fence that evening. But you just said that you didn't make it back to Windward Barracks until 16:45.
No, sir. But you see, sir, there was a flat tire.
Right? Were you at the meeting?
I'm sorry, sir. Was it?
Were you at the meeting that Lieutenant Kendrick held with the members of 2nd Platoon Delta?
No, sir. But you see, sir, there was a flat tire.
You never heard Lieutenant Kendrick say, give Santiago a code red. Did Corporal Dawson order you to give Santiago a code red?
The court, I'd like to request a recess to confer with my client.
I'd like an answer to my question.
The witness
The witness has been read his rights, Commander.
Question will be repeated.
Ma'am. Did Corporal Dawson order you to give Willie Santiago a code red?
We had a, yeah, sir, I
Direct
did.
your client to answer the question.
We did it in 45 flats, sir.
Grant the defense a recess.
Lieutenant Caffey, direct your client to answer this question.
Private Downey is my client, and I am addressing this court.
It was a code red.
Handle your client.
Help.
Private! Answer the lieutenant's question.
Yes, Lieutenant, I was given an order by my squad leader, Lance Corporal Harold W. Dawson of the United States Marine Corps, and I followed it.
What are you gonna do when you get back? What are you gonna do when you get back? Take a shower and hit the rack. Take a shower and hit the rack. Oh no. Not me. Oh no. Not us. What are we gonna do when we get back? All this stuff for sneak attack.
Dean, what do you say?
Give Donnie involuntary 7 to 10. Dawson has to plead guilty to the higher court. 12 to 15. He wants an answer tonight. What do you want me to say? No lawyer in the world would have thought to check out something like that. I would have. We would have.
Then why did...
Because I trusted you! I trusted you! Two guys who were gonna do 6 months are going away for 2 decades between them because I trusted you! Today. That was before I talked to Ross. Did you tell Aunt Jenny about your track record? Did you tell Aunt Jenny that you've gone into court 6 times in your life and lost every time? Your passion is compelling, Joe. It's also useless. Because Loudon Downey needed a trial lawyer today. Anyway, I guess that's that.
I still think we can win. I think you're using what happened today as an excuse to give up. I think you're afraid of Jessup, Danny, and I think you are just destined to become a victim of your own fear. But what the hell? You still get the steak knives.
Get out! Stop cleaning up. Sam! Stop cleaning up. Do you think if we found Markinson it would have made any difference?
No. I don't know. Who knows what Markinson knew? Maybe he was just a coward with a conscience.
A drink?
Yeah.
father proud of you?
Don't do this to
Is
yourself.
he? Is he very proud of you?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll bet he is. I'll bet your dad bores the hell out of the neighbors. As he works with aunts, uncles. Sam made law review. Sam's got a big case. Sam, he's making an argument. I think my father would have enjoyed seeing me graduate from law school. I think he would have liked that. An awful lot. Very angry about that, Sam.
I know you are, Danny.
I gotta call Ross. I said I'd call him at home before midnight.
I'll call him. Have you got the number?
It's in my briefcase in my book.
Ouch.
What?
I cut myself on the security tag.
Never took it off.
Danny, if you'll find me Ross's number, I'll call him. What? Can't hear you.
It calls me.
Yeah, we need to call Ross.
Call him, tell him thanks a lot, but no deal. Tell him I'm requesting a 24-hour continuance to subpoena Jessup.
What?
Sam, I've been going after the wrong guy.
What are you talking
Listen,
about?
do you remember our flight back from Cuba?
It was around 6, I
The
guess.
flight code. You remember the flight code?
I don't remember the flight.
AF-40 doesn't have any windows, but it flies.
Okay, I remember that.
Now,
What is it?
remember the wrong look, but they say, Joe, the one from Andrews.
AF-40 MAM.
M-A-M. Matthew A. Markinson. Coward with a conscience. Why it took me 5 weeks to figure it out, I have no idea, but given time, I'll figure out a way to blame it on you. Go on, I need you to prep me for Jessup, and I need Joe to write the motion for the continuance.
Look, let's just sit down with Ross. If Jessup tampered with evidence, we could get a new
I
deal.
don't want him on evidence tampering. I want him to say he ordered the code red.
You'd still need a witness.
I have a witness.
A dead witness.
And in the hands of a lesser attorney, that might be a problem.
You're gonna trip Jessup.
No, I'm not gonna trip him. I'm gonna lead him right where he's dying to go.
I don't think you can.
I know you don't. Let's go.
Well, doesn't that mean anything
It
to
means
you?
a great deal. Let me ask you this. What if I'm twice as good as you think I am? What if I'm not some half-assed clown of a Phi Beta Kappa used car salesman?
You'd still need a window. He has no weaknesses. He won't let you
He
near
has
him.
a weakness.
What?
He thinks he was right. Let's go.
You should have just been this. Listen to me. You should have just been this and ran up inside you for contempt. If they decide to teach you a lesson, they'll slap you with a dishonorable discharge, and that'll be stapled to every job application you ever fill out.
Life's like that sometimes. Let's go.
You're that sure?
Yes.
He's gonna confess.
Yeah, and you want to know why?
Yeah.
Because he has honor, and he has a code, and I'm twice as good as you think I am. Let's go. Sam, did you ever hear the story about the lieutenant commander and the lieutenant colonel?
Believe I have, Amy. It's a story of courage and conviction, is it not?
All right, Charles, Sam. You see, the lieutenant commander, well, she was investigating a crime, and she had a question she wanted the colonel to answer.
This colonel is a very intimidating character, I've heard.
Well, sure to some people. To some people, he was the stuff for which nightmares are made, huh?
But not to Commander Galloway.
Oh, sir, because Commander Galloway ain't scared of nothing. She had a question, and she was gonna get an answer. She was relentless, and she was confident, and she did her job.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you about Lance Corporal Dawson and PFC Donnelly. Downey.
I don't want to talk to you.
No, I can't accept that. You see, we braved extraordinary elements to get over here. My car ran out of gas on 8th Street. Sam had to walk a quarter of a mile to get out. And, well, the wife and I were thinking maybe we'd go into court tomorrow, save our clients' lives, maybe throw some homicidal maniacs behind bars to boot. We thought you might want to come along. What do you say?
I can't seem to defend anyone.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Joe. I really am. You are my hero. From the very first day, you were a lawyer. Live with that.
Lieutenant Hunt! Is the defense ready?
Yes, sir. Defense calls Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Jessup.
Colonel Nathan R. Jessup will take the stand.
Colonel, have you been previously sworn?
No, I have not.
Would you raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Bible, please, sir? Do you swear that the testimony you will give in this general court-martial is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Colonel, would you state your full name, rank, and current billet for the record, please?
Colonel Nathan Roy Jessup, Commanding Officer, Marine Ground Forces, NAV Base, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Thank you, Colonel. You can have a seat.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
The defense failed to get a deposition from you, so I'm going to break the cardinal rule and ask you questions without knowing the answers.
Seems a little more sporting that way, Lieutenant.
Indeed. When you learned of Santiago's letter, did you ask Lieutenant Kendrick to have a meeting with the members of 2nd Platoon?
Yes.
Why?
Because I felt Santiago's life might be in danger once word of the letter got out. I had Lieutenant Kendrick tell his men that they were not to take matters into their own hands.
And at the time of this meeting, who's your second in command?
The company commander, Captain Matthew Markins.
And at present, Captain Markinson is dead. Is that right?
Please, the court. I'd like to know just what defense counsel is implying.
I'm implying simply that at present, Captain Markinson is not alive.
Your Honor, surely the colonel's presence is not required in this courtroom to confirm that information.
I just wasn't sure if the colonel was aware that last week Captain Markinson took his own life with a .45 caliber pistol.
I'm aware.
The witness is aware. The members are aware. We thank you for bringing this to our attention, Lieutenant. Please move on.
Colonel, at the time of this meeting, when you told Lieutenant Kendrick to tell his men not to take matters into their own hands, you gave Captain Markinson an instruction as well. Is that right?
Indeed, I told Captain Markinson to transfer the boy off the base immediately.
You felt that Santiago was in danger?
Yes.
Grave danger?
Is there any other kind?
When did you learn of Santiago's letter?
Thursday, July 7th.
About what time of day?
In the area of 1000 hours.
Thursday, July 7, 1000 hours. That's when you told Captain Markinson and Lieutenant Kendrick that Private Santiago was in grave danger and was to be transferred immediately.
Son, is it me or are we going around in a circle here?
I have a copy of the transfer order here, Colonel. It says here that Private Santiago is scheduled to be moved out at 0200 the next morning, 16 hours later. Why did Markinson wait 16 hours? Why did Captain Markinson keep a man in grave danger for 16 hours?
There was no transportation off the base until 0200. The 0200 was the first flight off. Are these the questions I was really called here to answer?
I'm just trying to determine if it's possible that your orders to the officers were not carried out. Was Lieutenant Kendrick clear on what you wanted?
Crystal. Son, have you ever served in an infantry unit?
No, sir.
Have you ever served in a forward area?
No, sir.
Have you ever put your life in the hands of another man? Asked him to put his life in your hands?
No, sir.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal.
Boy, I'd like to know what in the world qualifies you to pass judgment on us.
Please, sir, I'm not here to pass judgment. The members of the jury are. And I think they're entitled to the truth.
Is that right?
Do you disagree?
Certainly not in principle. I disagree only as much that I disagree that a paraplegic is entitled to foxtrot. It would be nice, but it just isn't possible.
Colonel, are you implying that it's not possible for this court to hear the truth?
This court, I don't know what that means. I am simply saying that it is not possible for you to hear the truth.
Why not, Colonel?
Your Honor, is this dialogue relevant to anything in particular?
The defendant's commanding officers just testified that the truth is an unattainable goal. I'd like to know why.
Colonel, you're under no obligation to answer that question. Do you have any further questions for this witness? Lieutenant Caffey. Colonel Jessup, the court appreciates your time.
No trouble, Captain. I love Washington. Danny, don't look so glum. What is it you people always say? Live to fight another time.
Excuse me, I didn't dismiss you.
I beg your pardon?
I didn't dismiss you. I'm not through with my examination. Sit down. Lieutenant, I'd like the record to show that the witness got up and walked toward the door without being dismissed.
Colonel.
I'm sorry?
I would prefer it if he would address me as Colonel or Sir. I believe I have earned the right.
Counsel will address the witness as Colonel or Sir.
What in the hell kind of outfit are you running here?
And the witness will address this court as Judge or Your Honor. I'm certain I've earned the right. Take your seat, Colonel.
Submit for defense Exhibit A. I have here a copy of the Tower Chief's log from Naval Air Station, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, for the dates of Thursday the 7th and Friday the 8th of July. It lists incoming and outgoing flights. Is that your signature, Colonel?
That's my signature.
I draw the court's attention to the fact that between 0600 on Thursday the 7th and 0200 on Friday the 8th, no passenger-capable flights left the base.
Noted.
Noted. Colonel, I'd like to inform you that at this time, if you'd like a short recess to compose your thoughts, or if you'd like to consult with an attorney, we
I
can
don't
arrange
need an
for it.
attorney.
Yes, sir.
Colonel, I think it might be
I
advisable
said I don't need an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Colonel, I have just one more question for you. If you gave an order that Santiago was not to be touched, and your orders are always followed, then why was Santiago being transferred?
Santiago was a substandard Marine. He was being transferred.
That's not what you said, Colonel. You said Santiago was being transferred because he was in danger.
That's correct.
I said grave danger. You said is there
I
any
know
other-
what I said.
Then why the two orders? Colonel, if Lieutenant Kendrick gave an order that Santiago was not to be touched, then why was it necessary for Santiago to be transferred? Lieutenant Kendrick ordered the code red, didn't he? Because that's what you told Lieutenant Kendrick to do.
Objection.
You ordered the code red on it. Went bad. You cut these guys loose. You forged the law with your hours, the doctor. You have Martin to sign a form for the look like you tried to transfer him. Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
You do not have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled
You
to that.
want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth. We live in a world with walls, and those walls are guarded by men with guns. Who's going to do it? You? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago and you curse the Marines. You have that luxury, the luxury of the blind, the luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. And my existence, while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You can't handle it, because deep down in places you don't talk about, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use these words as a backbone to a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who rises and sleeps under the blanket of the very freedom I provide, and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I'd just as soon you said thank you and went your way. Otherwise, I suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red?
I did my job.
Did you order the code red?
You're damn right I did.
Please, the court. I suggest that the members be dismissed and that we move immediately to an Article 39A session. The witness has rights.
Lieutenant Ross.
Jack.
Sergeant of Arms, will take the members to an anteroom and await further instructions.
What the hell's going on here? Captain? What the hell is going on here? I did it. Fine. I ordered a code red. Now, I'm getting on a plane and I'm going back to my base.
Guard the prisoner.
What? MP, guard the prisoner.
I order a code red and everybody goes crazy like a damn ladies' auxiliary.
Colonel Jessup, you have the right to remain silent. Any statements you do make can be used against you in a trial by court-martial or other judicial or administrative procedure.
Are you charging me
right
with a
to consult
crime?
with the lawyer prior to
You
further
can't
questions.
charge me.
This
I'm
may
a
be a
Marine.
civilian lawyer
I'm a
retained in
Marine
no court
colonel.
in the
You
United
can't
States
charge me with a
or
crime.
military
I was
lawyer
doing my
appointed to
job.
act as your
I'm your superior officer, mister. I'm gonna tear your eyes out of your head and prison your dead skull. You screwed with the wrong Marine.
Jessup. Do you understand these rights as I've just read them to you?
You don't know how to defend a nation. I'm trying to defend the nation. All you did here today was weaken the country. That's all you did. So pat yourself on the back. You put people's lives in danger. Sweet dreams, son.
Don't call me son. I am a lawyer and an officer in the United States Navy, and you're under arrest, you son of a bitch. The witness is excused.
Lift your head and lift it high. Lift your head and lift it high. Corporal Dawson, pass the line. Corporal Dawson, pass the line. Left, right. Sound off. Sing it out loud. Do it again. 3, 4, sound off. Right, left. Stand back.
On the charge of murder in the second degree, the members find the defendants not guilty. On the charge of conspiracy to commit murder, the members find the defendants not guilty. On the charge of conduct unbecoming a United States Marine, the members find the defendants guilty as charged. The defendants are hereby sentenced by this court to time served in the brig up until this point and are ordered to be dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps. This court-martial is adjourned.
Stand hut! Dismissed! Why?
I'm sorry, Harold. I didn't know.
Why?
I don't understand.
It's not as
Colonel
bad as
Jessup
it
said
seems.
that he ordered the code right now.
I know, but-
What did we do wrong?
Listen,
Colonel
there's
Jessup
no-
said that he ordered the code right now. What did we do wrong?
Ask Dawson.
We did nothing wrong.
Sure you did.
How?
We did nothing wrong.
A jury just said your comment was unbecoming that of a United States Marine. What does that mean?
You're the lawyer.
You're the Marine.
Not anymore.
Corporal, what were you supposed to fight for?
People who couldn't fight for themselves.
What were you supposed to fight for?
Willie Santiago. We were supposed to fight for Willie.
No more questions.
Cappy, you can take these guys out of first officer paperwork.
Harold.
Sir,
You don't have to wear a patch on your arm to have honor.
chin hut. There's an officer on deck. Sir, permission to be dismissed.
Dismissed.
You know, you two really ought to learn how to relax a little bit. How's about a celebration? I'm buying. Sam? Champagne? Yoo-hoo?
Maybe later. I'm gonna go home and talk with my daughter. Think she's gotta be bilingual by now.
So what's next for you?
Staff Sergeant Hector Baines. He went to the movies on company time. You?
Oh, you know, the usual.
Just pretty much generally annoying people.
Yeah. Listen, are you happy right now? Because you have every reason to be happy right now.
Yes, I am happy, and it was very nice of you to ask.
So, how about it? You want to have a drink?
No, I'll hook up with you later. I'm gonna get started on Hector Baines. Stand my post for a while.
You know, you are like 7 of the strangest men I have ever met.